The people who live on the opposite end of these trees, who have to duck under them just to get to their cars, say they're willing to do anything to try and resolve the issue. The question is, whose responsibility is it to fix it? To get a sense at just how serious this crash was here on Route 250, it happened around 9 a.m. and crews just reopened the highway here about 45 minutes ago. The lawyers say it could take as many as 18 months for it to go to trial. That's if the government doesn't settle beforehand. If you can make it out of this 1,000-foot-long tunnel, you're going to have to turn around and go 1,000 feet in the opposite direction to get out. And if there's one thing we've learned here, it's that this place isn't for the easily frightened. If you're not a fan of hot dogs, you just want to make a donation to support the Fairview Food Pantry, well, that's okay too. You can come in through this revolving door. Again, they'll be here till 6 o'clock. The folks here have been busy preparing hot dogs all day long. Just a short drive outside of downtown Elkins, you'll find the Bickle Knob Observation Tower here in the Monongahela National Forest. This offers a complete 360-degree view of Randolph County and beyond. In the event that you'd find yourself stranded on the interstate for hours at a time, it's good, especially during the winter, to pack an emergency kit in your car with things like a flashlight, jumper cables, or a pair of gloves. Laura Jones has had type 1 diabetes for more than 40 years. Like roughly 30 million Americans with diabetes, she's seen the cost of the drug that keeps her alive skyrocket. The cost of insulin nearly doubled between 2012 and 2016. Even with insurance, the price tag can be crippling.
You could be talking, the cost of a car payment every month just to provide the medication that you need to stay alive.
Luckily, Jones has good health insurance through her employer to cut the cost of her insulin. This vial will cost her roughly $40 a month. Without insurance, it's $250. We are in Niagara Falls here on the Canadian side. You can see the United States right over here. Now, insulin north of the border where we are standing is 1/10 of the cost that it is right over there in the United States. That's why a local group is planning a trip here soon to save money on their life-saving medication. Delegate Barbara Fleischauer is helping organize the 300-mile journey.
A lot of us, including me, need to be educated about what a serious problem this is. I bet everybody in West Virginia has a relative who is either at risk or has diabetes.
The cost of insulin in Canada is cheaper largely due to its publicly funded healthcare system. The government sets the costs. You don't need a prescription here either. It's legal for Americans to buy insulin in person here, but not legal in most states to import them through the mail. Some states have implemented laws to limit prices or allow foreign imports. West Virginia isn't one. As for Jones, she's currently serving as the executive director of Milan Puchgar Health Right in Morgantown, working to make sure everyone in her community has quality access to health care, including insulin.
Insulin is not a cure. It is primarily a way to keep us alive and hopefully keep us healthy, but it's definitely not a cure.
For 5 News, I'm Josh Croup, keeping you connected in Monongalia County. It's usually pretty quiet in the small city of Grafton, West Virginia, except, of course, in the band room at Grafton High School. That's where you'll often find junior percussionist Landon Tucker, practicing everything from the tenors he plays in marching band to solo excerpts on the marimba. This room is his refuge from the outside world.
I can just play music and just focus on that, and it just puts me in a happy place almost.
The hours he spends practicing here are now paying off. Next week, he'll represent his city, school, and state on the national stage. Landon was selected to perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with the featured Great American Marching Band. It's a group of roughly 200 students from all 50 states and Washington, D.C. Christopher Rucker is the Grafton band director.
Well, as I sit here, it's giving me goosebumps just thinking about that. And I'm so proud of him and the work that he puts in and the leadership that he has.
In his 21 years teaching, he's had students go on to be music majors, join the WVU marching band, and military bands.
But nothing on the stage quite as big as this.
Such a great opportunity to be able to represent just the state of West Virginia and show people how great people from West Virginia really are.
Landon's audition process began roughly a year ago. He'll play crash cymbals in next week's parade. He leaves Saturday morning for New York City, where he'll spend a few days rehearsing and preparing with the group for one of the biggest parades in the world. His band director hopes Landon's once-in-a-lifetime experience serves as an inspiration to other students, as a story of a small-town kid making it on the big time stage.
You don't have to come from a big town to be able to experience the things that Landon's going to experience.
For 5 News, I'm Josh Croup, keeping you connected in Taylor County. It's safe to say these kids are happy to be in the classroom on this day, and it's also safe to say they feel welcome here. That's the mission for teachers at Roanoke Elementary School in Lewis County, and while the colorful inside of the classroom certainly helps, it's what happens before they get inside that really makes their day.
Good morning, Brantley. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Jonathan. How are you?
Sonia James and Karen Taylor have been teaching here for 20 years. They, like other teachers here, make it a point to greet every single student every single day.
Good morning, Sam. Glad you're here.
As for the kids, they can choose how they're greeted, whether that's with a dance or a hug.
There's my lady girl. Good morning, sweetheart.
And they come to school and they're looking for that smiling face. They're looking for that hug. And I have students that aren't even in my classroom anymore that will stay in here and say, Mrs. James, can I pick something for the day?
They're trying to make attendance here a priority and help Lewis County set the example for other schools in the state with a simple message.
They matter, and that we love them and we want them here.
Mrs. James started her greeting board last year after seeing similar ones in other schools. It was implemented school-wide after she and others went to a conference focused on creating a better future for their school.
And if the kids know that we want them here, they're going to come.
Plus, for every day their class has perfect attendance, another letter on this sign gets colored in, and students are rewarded with prizes. And the idea is blasting off, as you can tell by all of the colors on this once blank sign. All thanks to an often needed but simple interaction.
It brightens my day as well as it does their day.
For 5 News, I'm Josh Croup, keeping you connected in Lewis County.